Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here for this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work alongside while I chat. Or alternatively, you can listen to this and treat it as a podcast and just listen while I chat. Before I begin, let me just clear up a few questions. Some of you may recognize that this is my Mandy Manzano that I am doing for the Mandy event in May, which doesn't start technically until tomorrow. So I have started it early for reasons which I'll get into, but I'm not doing this I'm participating in the event, but I'm like not entering anything. I'm just doing this as a fun thing. And it's an excuse for me to do this kit that's been hanging around forever. So that's what I'm going to be working on. I've got my pens, I've got my new little half and half gridded tray that I'm going to be using. So far it's working out pretty well. And I'm also going to be doing something a little bit different. So this is kind of going to be a half and half WIP and Chat. The first half I'm going to share with you my goals update for April, because it is the last day of the month and I want to share with you guys how I did so that I can keep myself accountable. Then once I get done with that, because it won't take me very long, then I'm going to share with you all of the exciting news in both my real life and my diamond painting life that I have coming up. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Hopefully this will be a bit of a longer WIP and Chat. I know last week mine was kind of short. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to move things around a bit, zoom in to where I'm going to be working, and then I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay guys, so I'm going to jump in. Like I said, this is going to be my goals update for April. So I just wanted to share with you how I did for the month of April. I'm using my new fancy copper pen. Isn't it pretty? Okay, so first thing, diamond painting hours. How did I do? For April, I did pretty good. I had 91 hours, or not 91, sorry, 96 hours and 32 minutes, which is pretty close to 100. My goal for the year is 1,000. Don't know if I'm going to make that. I may have some pretty hot and heavy diamond painting to do by the time we get to the end of the year, but I'm hoping I'll get there. So 96 hours and 32 minutes. So if I add that to my previous totals, so my previous total for 2023 was 173 hours and 6 minutes. So when I add those together, I am currently sitting at 269 hours and 38 minutes, which is way less than my 100 hours a month goal. However, 100 hours a month would get me to 12,000 hours or 1,200 hours. I'm only trying to get to 1,000. So for now, I'm going to say that's okay. I do have this summer where I'm going to be working on several events and I have several big projects planned. So hopefully that will get me to my goal. Okay, so that's first one. Then my second goal was 50 finishes. And this one, I think, admittedly, is going to be a lot tougher for me this year. Last year, I did, I think, 70 plus finishes. A large chunk of that because of the 30 by 30s that I completed in September. I don't currently have any kind of challenge like that planned for this year. So I don't know if I'll make my 50 goal. We'll see. I am getting projects done, but like I said, a lot of my projects are big this year, and so because they are big, they take longer and I just don't get as many of them done, but we'll see. So I got 6 done this month. I got my Patience Mermaid. I finished my 2 Looney Tunes, my Daffy and my Marvin. I finished a budget kit that was the little rabbit with glasses for my sister, and I've given that to her, so that's one that's done and out of my house. I finished a blank canvas that I was using for a spare drill project to try and use up some of my spares. I completed that, and that is now done. And I completed the SpongeBob for my nephew. So I got that framed and gave it to him. He was very appreciative. It is hanging up in his bedroom. And that is yet another painting that I can check off my list. So 6 finishes added to my already 15 total means I am sitting at 21 finishes, which is almost the halfway point. So if I can get to the halfway point by May, maybe I will actually make it. So that's number of finishes. Then for my third goal, that was my artist series. And if you remember from my original video about my goals, my artist series was that I wanted to do 20 kits by artists that I had never done a piece of their art before. And this is actually one of them because I've never done a Mandy Manzano before. This is the only kit of hers that I have. And so I decided to do this one for this May event. And I gotta say, still shocked that there's no 310 in this. Happy. I mean, ultimately, I guess it doesn't really matter whether it's 310 or not. I mean, I still have to put down the same number of drills, whether they're black or dark brown. And I'm trying to, like I said, learn to embrace these kits where it's kind of like an outline sort of thing, and then you go in and fill in. So it's been nice, and this one is going pretty quickly so far. And also, I gotta admit, I'm okay with some of these dark colors because one of the nice things about dark colors is that you can't really see all your misplaced drills, right? It hides, the dark colors hide it much better. So there's that. Anyway, so for my artist series for the month of April, I only finished one, and that was my Patience. Yeah, that's the only one I finished in April. All the other ones I finished in June, or in March, I mean. So I had 6, I'm now at 7, which isn't great if I want to do 20, but I'm hoping that I'll get there. This will be another one to add to it, and I've got several other ones. I debated about adding the Daffy, the Marvin, the SpongeBob, but because those are kind of like Warner Brothers, Looney Tunes, you know, Nickelodeon type stuff, I just thought, you know, I don't really know who the true artist is, so I'm not going to count those. So I didn't count those for that reason. So just the one. So I'm sitting at 7 there. And then for my budget, I gave myself a limit of $2,400 this year. So $200 a month that I could spend. And I think I've been right at budget or under budget for most of the months so far this year. This month I was definitely under budget. The only money that I spent this month was for my pen and my new trays. So all spent on tools. I also bought some patterns on Etsy for some cross stitch conversions that I am going to be doing. And actually, I said that about my trays, but I think my trays I actually purchased in March. They just didn't arrive until April. So yeah, I think it was just my patterns and my pen because I only spent $39.28. So that means I have $1,839.68 left in my budget. So if there would be a sale or something come up that's really something I want, I don't have to feel guilty if I decide to buy it. And if I don't see anything that I really want, then I can save whatever budget I have for Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming up this year, because there probably will be some things that I want to buy. We'll see. I don't quite know how my budget is going to work for the rest of the year, but that's where I'm sitting at. All right, and then number 5, my goal is to reduce my stash. I didn't do very well with that last month. I purchased 3 new kits from Diamond Art Club. I think I broke even maybe with the numbers. I don't remember exactly. I do know that my stash has gone up. However, I think maybe this month it actually went down. I completed the SpongeBob. I completed the Marvin and Daffy, and I completed Patience, which were all kits that were in my stash from last month. And I completed the little budget rabbit for my sister. So that's 5 kits that I'm going to count as being removed from my stash. My blank spares I'm not going to count because it was a blank canvas from Diamond Dots that I had picked up at Michael's eons ago, and I hadn't been counting it in my stash anyway, so it doesn't seem fair to count it as leaving my stash when I didn't count it as being in my stash in the first place. So those were the 6 projects that I finished, but 5 of them came out of my stash. So those are the ones that came out of my stash. So that's where I'm sitting for all of my goals. I feel like I did really well on the diamond painting hours with 96 hours this month, sitting at almost 270 for the year. 6 finishes this month I'm feeling really good about, even though several of them, the rabbit, the 2 Looney Tunes, and the Aspergillus project were not huge projects. They still count, right? So yeah, 6 is a win. And Patience and the SpongeBob were both like 50 by 60 or larger, so I'm definitely counting those as a win. Not too happy with myself about my artist series. I really need to kind of buckle down on that, but I'm fairly certain I'm going to be getting a couple of those knocked out in the next couple of months, so I'm not going to beat myself up too much about that. My budget, I think I did really well. $40 for the month. That's way less than I usually spend. I think some of it is that I've been kept busy actually working on projects, and so I haven't been out kind of hunting up things to purchase and buy, but that may change too. I'm feeling the need to go do another Amazon hunt and see what kind of cool kits I can find on Amazon. There's actually Diamond Art Club. There's a couple of Diamond Art Club kits on Amazon that they don't have on their website. I just haven't done it because it feels bad to buy a Diamond Art Club kit and not get any points for it, because you can't use your points and you don't get any points if you buy through Amazon. However, it's a nice option. Wonder if that's a way I could still get Diamond Art Clubs without having to pay huge shipping things when I'm in Canada. I'll have to think about that. All right, anyway, so there's that. And then reducing my stash by 5, I'm calling that good. And then the very last thing, which is not really a goal per se, but just something I try to keep track of, I sent out 10 random acts of kindness in April. So I'm definitely into people who signed up in 2023. I think I'm actually into February of 2023. So if you signed up and you haven't gotten anything yet, don't despair. I am still sending those out. Just, yeah, it takes me a while. I got to save up the money for postage. If any of you lovely folks would like to help with that, you can always donate. My PayPal and my Ko-fi are linked below. That would be awesome. You are in no way obligated to do that, but if you have the funds and you would like to, that would be greatly appreciated. Oh, and for Random Acts of Kindness for 2023, I'm currently sitting at 44 with those 10 for April. So I'm feeling pretty good about all that. So that brings me to my next section of this WIP and Chat. Now that I've finished with updating you guys on all of my goals, I am going to kind of move into the regular portion of this WIP and Chat, which is my life update and my diamond painting update. So for my life update, everybody is mostly healthy and well. My husband got a phone call. I think I told you guys in the last WIP and Chat, they had an outbreak at the hospital where his dad's at. They've not been able to get back in and see his dad physically yet. His brother goes up there and drops off like a little care package for his dad every week, but his mom is getting kind of antsy that she's not been able to get in and see my father-in-law. So we'll see how that's all going to go. The end of school is rapidly approaching. My youngest is getting ready to gear up for finals. He's supposed to be done with finals here in the next week or so. And then I can start worrying about next semester and trying to get him to sign up for all of that. I have been slowly working my way through some small parts of the house, trying to go through and get rid of some things, you know, whether that's to actually get rid of them, to donate them, to give them to other members of my family, etc. And I'm actually feeling really good about that. I've gone through parts of our closet. I've gone through some photo albums. I think I mentioned I was going through all of my mom's crystal. My oldest came and picked out what she wanted. I gave her the pieces that she wanted to keep, and then I boxed up the rest to go to my sister. So those have been delivered. I also delivered to my sister my dad's old army uniform, which she didn't even realize I had. She's going to take that. A jacket of my mom's. And of course, I gave her the SpongeBob that I had finished and framed for my nephew. And then I gave her some things that she and I talked about, a bunch of photo albums that she's going to go through and digitize, and some kitchen things. I went through my grandmother's and my mom's recipe boxes and pulled out some kind of family recipes that she wanted copies of, that I ended up with my mom's and my grandma's recipe boxes because a lot of it was baking. And so I ended up with those recipes, but there were some recipes in there for cooking things like my mom's brisket and just some other things that my mom, made on like holidays and stuff that I gave to my sister. So all of that stuff is packed up and gone out of my house, which feels good. And I did talk to her. We went out to lunch and I talked to her about some other items in the house. You guys, it's so hard when people pass away. My parents have been gone for over 10 years. Some days it seems like longer, some days it seems like yesterday. And when my parents passed away, we all, my siblings and I, kind of took pieces and parts that we were sentimental for us. But, 10 years on, we're just kind of learning you can't hang on to everything. I'm trying to figure out what I want to keep and what I don't, because we're looking at an international move and that gets really expensive. We still don't know for sure how we're going to do that. My husband and I are discussing whether we want to U-Haul it, basically, whether we want to hire a moving company. I just think personally that we're not going to have enough items to make it worth the expense of hiring a moving company to do it for us, because we're planning on getting rid of a lot of our furniture. I mean, we do have some pieces that we're planning on taking. My adjustable height table for sure, beds, a couple of dressers, a couple of computer desks, a cedar chest, maybe some storage shelving and things, but that's pretty much it. Most of the rest of the furniture we're not keeping. After those big pieces, it'll be like electronics and clothing and personal items, linens, that sort of thing. And it just doesn't seem like we're going to have enough stuff to make the expense worth it. If any of you have ever moved internationally and have any thoughts, please share them. Would love to know anything that we should be aware of, maybe to look out for, that sort of thing. I'm leaning towards, I would rather just, even though it sounds like a lot of work, and it will be, I'm leaning towards just renting a U-Haul, getting a trailer to tow one of our cars behind that we're taking, and then because there'll be 3 of us to drive, having my youngest drive the other vehicle that we'll be taking. Like I said, I don't know all the ins and outs. We haven't decided for sure that we're taking both of our vehicles. I just hate to go down to one, especially if my husband's going to be working, because then, either I've got to ferry him to and from work, or my son and I will be stuck until he gets home with the vehicle during the day, which doesn't sound that great. Anyway, that's what I'm leaning towards. It will be a several-day journey, but I just think it would be more cost-effective than trying to hire movers. Especially because when we import the things into Canada, we have to be there. And I've looked at a couple people who do international shipping, and it's like, well, we ship it up there, but then we put it in this warehouse. You get it through customs, and then, because like we have paperwork that we would have to fill out, and then we can go pick it up. Well, of course, none of the warehouses are in the province that we're moving to. So I don't want to have to drive to another province to pick up all of our stuff. Then we got to move it anyway. Or at the very least, I guess if we don't have to move it, we have to drive to wherever the warehouse is, get everything, show that we've completed all the paperwork to get it imported, and then I guess they drive it to wherever we're going. I don't know. I don't know exactly how this is all going to work. So yeah, I'm leaning towards the U-Haul. My husband is not a fan, but I just think it will be simpler. If you guys, like I said, if you guys have any other experience, please let me know. So yeah, it feels good to make some progress. My oldest is still looking for another place to live. She may be actually moving to the town where we live currently, which is not really what she wants to do. She wants to move to the town where she works, but it's only a 20-minute drive. It's not any further than she currently drives, and she could probably find someplace a lot cheaper. It may just end up being better for her. We'll see what happens. She's still looking. Oh, and she's still waiting to hear about jury duty. She got called for federal jury duty. She's filled out all of the questionnaire that she had to do. She hasn't heard back yet. So we'll see about that. Exciting news, you guys. And you may have seen this on the Facebook group because I posted in there. If you're not in there, why not? Please go check out the link below and join my Facebook group. Follow and like my Facebook page. Or if you prefer Instagram, you can follow me over there. Either way, I am super duper excited because we got our confirmation of permanent residency from Canada. Our letters arrived. Now, because it's never simple, we only have until my passport expires to go get it, which is July when it expires. So we are going to be leaving in the next few weeks to travel to Canada. And we are going to what they call soft land. So we have to go up there, have our letters in hand, have somebody at the border sign it saying that we have arrived, and then, yeah, we can start making real plans. So we've been approved, we're good to go. Now we just have to work out all the logistics. Our plan was we wanted to move up there by September. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We're going to proceed as if it will, and then we'll see what happens. So we're going to go up there and spend time. We've already notified my husband's family, so all the in-laws know that we're coming, and my brother-in-law has graciously agreed to let us stay in his cottage while we are up there. This will be only the second time for me and the first time for my youngest that we have been up there during the summer. All the other times that we have traveled up there, it has been cold. So this will be a new experience for us to travel up there when it's warm. We are hoping that once we get up there, we will apply for our actual permanent residency card. We will get our social insurance numbers, and then we will be able to start looking for a place to live, figure out banking and jobs and all that good stuff. At least make a start on it anyway. So that's the plan. So we'll be up there. So I may have some more coming to you from Canada videos. We'll see. But of course, it's not all smooth sailing. My passport still expires in July. So we're going to go up there, spend some time in May, come back. Then when we come back, I've got to apply to renew my passport. However, our confirmation letters have my current passport number on it, which is why we're going now. And then I've got to find out, I'm hoping someone at Border Services will be able to answer my question, because once we come back, then I will need to apply for renewal. However, I have seen things that said that they will attach my permanent residence visa to my passport. So I don't know how that's going to work if I have to renew my passport, if they actually are going to attach it, or if it's just something that kind of gets folded in there. Like, I've never had them in Canada do anything with my passport when we've come for visits other than just look at it. One time I went up there to see my husband, and I don't know, something spooked the border agent or something, and so he basically put a piece of paper in my passport that said I couldn't work or go to school while I was there, and I only had until there was a date on it. I had to leave Canada by this date, and I was leaving way before then, so it wasn't a big deal, but it was a letter that I folded up and put in there. So I guess I just assumed that was how the confirmation letter would work as well, because I won't actually get the permanent residency card until who knows when. I've had people in my husband's Facebook group say they got it in 6 months. I've had other people that say it literally took them years. Now, they were confirmed as permanent residents and they were living in Canada, but even at that, it just took the government so long. And especially now that their government is shut down, which we apparently scraped through by the skin of our teeth because our letter was mailed the day the government shut down. So I'm thanking my lucky stars for that. But yeah, now I get to worry about how do I do this with the fact that I still have to renew my passport. Maybe it's not an issue. I don't know. Because I guess technically, from what I understand, because my husband is a Canadian citizen, he's a dual citizen, but because he's Canadian citizen, even though we're living in the US, because we're living with him and because he's working in the States, we still get to count it as being time in Canada. Something about he's the little piece of Canada traveling with us. Somebody in the Facebook group told my husband, technically we could live here forever and still have that count as long as we were living with him. To which I said, you know, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. If that's what your plan was, why would you apply for PR in the first place? But what do I know? Governments are weird. So anyway, not sure when exactly we're moving, but the big hurdle has been jumped. The big hoop has been jumped through. We are approved. We are going up there to do our soft landing, and then we will figure everything else out. So I told my husband I was going to give myself a huge pat on the back because I have now successfully applied for permanent residency in 2 countries. So go me. My son and I now have PR in Canada, and my husband was a permanent resident here before he became a naturalized citizen. So woohoo, I can fill out government forms. Go me. Not that they make a lot of sense sometimes, but we did it. So that's my huge news. And a huge thank you to all of you who have, you know, put good thoughts out there into the universe for me and propped me up when I was feeling low and not sure what was going to happen. Oh, we're done. We're going to travel up there, get it, and then we have time to figure out when we're going to move. We have a deadline. You know, my husband would like to move by this date, but now that we're approved, we can take a kind of a breath and figure out, you know, what we're going to do with our house, all that good stuff. So super excited, super duper excited that we're done with that part of it, and super excited that we're going to be going up there for another visit, especially that it's in the summer, because now I want to, there's a couple of places we've not been to, falls that I want to go to, and the falls has like a little food shack that my husband took me to the very first time I went to visit him up there. And they have lobster rolls and a lot of really fresh seafood that my son will love. My son is a big seafood lover. I am not, but he will love it, so it's all good. I'll find something else to eat. It'll be fine. So excited to kind of go around and see everything while it's green and blooming and not covered in snow, because that's not ever happened to us before. So, I mean, I went up there once when it was summer, but that's been 12, 13 years ago, something like that. So that's my exciting news. That's my exciting life update. I don't have quite as much exciting or as much news in my diamond painting world, but I guess some of it's pretty exciting. We'll see. You guys know I finished my SpongeBob, like I said, and I framed it and gifted it to my nephew. He was very happy to get it. Like I said, it's already been framed and hanging in his bedroom. So I'm excited about that. I actually feel really good about that one. That one had been hanging on my office door forever, kind of taunting me of, why don't you do me? Why don't you do me? And now it's done, so I don't have to worry about it. And bonus, it was one that was not going to stay in my house once it was finished. So I just got a frame on Amazon. I framed it up and I took it over. So feeling good about that. Like I said, I'm excited about all the progress I made in April, getting 6 things finished. Even if they weren't all huge, it still feels like a win to get that many things done. And hopefully May will be just as productive for me. Cross my fingers. Especially now that we're moving, I'm just kind of looking at, we may be having a garage sale, and I may be trying to get rid of some stuff that way. Both personal items and diamond paintings. If I haven't got rid of all of my diamond paintings, every year our little town has like a arts and crafts festival. It's not until October, and we're hoping to be gone by then. But if we're not, then I may buy a little booth and try and get rid of some of them that way. So I'm starting to gear up. Tomorrow is May. The month after May is June. And June, as you know, is my diamond painting event, DP for Pets 2023. So I started this one. My first year was last year. It went really well. This was and is a way for me to encourage people to donate. I'm going to be making another donation this year to my local Humane Society. So I will be doing that. Donations are not required to participate in DP for Pets, but if you want to donate to your local society, that would be awesome. I am in the process of getting the prize package together so that I can share that with you, and I will be doing an announcement video coming out soon so that you guys can see what all the details are. It's pretty much going to be a carbon copy of last year. The sizes, all that stuff is going to be the same. It is open to everyone, including international. I'm going to be putting that prize package together, and then I'll share with you guys what's going to be in it. I'm super excited about the kit that I've decided to give away. All of this stuff is coming from me. I was going to go the sponsor route, and with everything else going on, I just didn't have time to pursue it the way that I should have. So I'm just going to be donating things that I have to put in there just like I did last year, but I'm super excited about the kit. I hope you guys are too, and all the other fun stuff that I'm going to put in there. So DP for Pets is coming up. That's going to run June 1st through June 30th. So make sure you put that on your calendars. When I do that event announcement video, which will be coming out pretty quickly, I will have the link to the entry form. There will be entry and exit forms required. You do need a finish. All the details will be in that video, so be looking for that. I'm pretty sure I've decided on what kit I'm going to be doing for the event, but it's always subject to change. I have like 4 or 5 kits that I could do. I could do my wolf shaman. I could do, let me get a drill out here in diamond paint while I'm talking so that you guys aren't just listening, watching my pen sit here and do nothing. Okay, so I could do my Wolf Shaman by Dean Russo. I'm actually really leaning towards that one. I've also got one called Shaman by Lori something. Her last name escapes me for some reason. Prindle, which is like a war horse. I could do that one. I've got my Yorkie, which is a Diamond Art Club that I could do. I've got a puppy one from Craftably that I could do. Yeah, I have several that I could work on. I'm hoping I'll be able to get more than one done. It depends. If I do the Wolf Shaman or the horse one, those may take me a while, so I don't know if I'll get more than one done if I decide to go that route, but we'll see. June is also Pride Month, and I have some smaller kits that I want to do for Pride. So I'm hoping not all of my diamond painting time in June will be taken up by DP for Pets, but we'll see. So yeah, you guys be looking out for that video. I will, like I said, I'll be doing that announcement video with what the prize package will be and all of the details. I don't know if I will be doing weekly prizes. If I can, I will. As I'm putting together the final prize package, I will look at that and see if I want to do weekly prizes again. I mean, I want to do them. I just don't know if I have enough stuff on hand to do that. I probably do, so we'll see. Ooh, I just had an idea for something that I could do for those weekly prizes. Oh, okay. Yep, I think I've just sold myself on that. So yeah, you guys be watching for that video, and I will do weekly prizes along with the final prize. And same deal as last year. If you win a weekly prize, you will still be eligible for the final prize drawings. And as always, guys, shipping is expensive. And I am opening this to everyone, so if any of you generous souls would like to donate to my PayPal or Ko-fi so that to defray some of the shipping costs, that would be hugely appreciated. Not necessary, but if you feel so inclined, would be appreciated. I think I'm going to stop there. That's all I had to talk about. Really, my most exciting news was that our permanent residency was approved. I know you guys have been rooting for me for that, so I'm super excited that that's done. And yeah, I didn't get very far. I think I spent more time talking than I spent diamond painting. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you made some progress on your WIP as well. Thanks for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.